Hello, everyone. I'm super sorry, so sorry for coming late. Hi, good afternoon. Please confirm if you can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear, Mark. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm so sorry for joining late. I have difficulty turning off my internet and all that. So we'll get started right away. Hi, Deepali. Good to have you here today. My sincere
Hi,
apologies. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you all doing? Hello, everyone.
Fine, thank
Bye.
you. Yeah, so I think we can just get started. Let me share my screen, then we'll kick off from there. How was your weekend, by the way, everyone? Can you share in the chat how your weekend has been? What's going on? How did it go? Any good news, bad news? No, hopefully not bad news. How was it? Let me know. Let me know in the chat how was your weekend.
I have a big good news. India won. All weekend was for the cricket match.
That's great. Okay. Please help me confirm from your end if you can see my screen and if it's recording from your end. I think it's recording. All right, so let's get started again. The weekend was great, interesting. Hi, Temitope, good to have you in class today. Hi, are you doing? What's up? How was your weekend? Weekend was super busy with family engagement. Oh, I can just imagine. I'm here to recover from my weekend. The weekend was great, but quick. Weekend passes like minutes. Before you know it, it's Monday. Like, where did all the time go? All right, all right. Hope you can still see my screen. All right, so welcome again to another exciting class. Today we have a phenomenal person in the house, but then let me just go over our rules before we kick off. So welcome to Switch to Tech as a customer success mentorship program. And in this mentorship program, what we are trying to achieve is to empower you to be able to achieve your goals, your career goals, that is, so that you're able to take big steps. No longer will you be applying for roles that probably do not fit or that don't pay you well, right? So you'll be able to switch to tech easily and confidently. I think confidently is the word. And this class was brought to you by Gloria Michael and Elevate Your CS Career. So let's go over this again. This class will be recorded for education and evaluation purposes. Please, in the chat, let me know if that is okay with you. You can drop a plus sign, or you can just say yes with your mute on. You'll mute your mic and let me know right now. Am I getting yes, yes, or plus, plus? Let me see. Let me know. The class is going to be recorded. Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. I like how responsive this class has been. It gives me great joy. You don't know. All right. So norm is, if you're already in this class, you already know that you have to be in a very quiet environment that you won't have distractions. Also, you have to have your camera on so that we can see you and you can see us and you won't be distracted at the end of the day, because if your camera is on, there's the probability that you'll probably be doing something else, right? And you'll pay attention. This class, we brought people from all over to make sure you get the value that you want to help you start in your career. But then if I don't want you to work against yourself, right? So please, as much as possible, be present in class. Last rule, but not the least, is contributing class. It's so important that you voice out your opinion. If there's anything you don't understand at all, please make sure you ask the questions, make sure you contribute. If there's something that you think someone said and it's not really it, also make sure you talk about it, okay? All right, let's talk about our mentor for today. Her name is Deepali Jagota. She's from India, and she currently works with Demand Cornerstone. I'll get to that. So we are talking about onboarding best practices and understanding, and also another topic is understanding customer needs and expectations. So let's meet Deepali. She's the best. There's been a mix up somewhere. Okay, let me read that from someone else. Just a minute, please. I'll need to read about her. Okay. Just a few moments. Let me introduce our speaker, then we'll have to. Sure. Just a moment for me to talk about our speaker for today. For some reason, there was a mix-up in what I have, so I have to check to make sure it's the right one. All right. Okay. All right, so our speaker for today is Deepali Jagota, a top 100 customer success strategist and a senior customer success manager with over 15 years of experience driving customer adoption, upskilling teams, and helping business grow. With expertise in workforce agility, enterprise customer success, and edtech, Deepali has mastered the art of building strong customer relationships, increasing adoption, and ensuring long-term success. So this session you won't want to miss at all. Let's welcome Deepali Jagota to speak. Also, let me see your emojis. Let me see how excited you are to have her in the house. Welcome, Jagota Deepali.
Thank you. Thanks, Gloria. I think even I am super excited to be here to share my learnings with each one of you. And I also request the same. Please be interactive. Please ask questions. This is not a session. It's like a more like a discussion for us. Do you suggest me to start?
Yes, please. Yes, you can start.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I will just start with the gratitude to Gloria. I think she's doing a perfect job, and I mean this is not easy what she's doing, spending time and spreading the awareness around customer success, inviting people like me to share their learnings with all of you. And I think you are super fortunate and super curious for all that belongs to customer success. And Gloria is a connection between you and the industry, I can say. So please make use of all the sessions which she is organizing. Please make sure that you are making notes and asking questions. And even after the sessions, reach out to all the speakers if you have anything else to understand or to share. Just don't hesitate and reach out to everyone. I think I must say that the customer success community is very, very supportive and very, very available for each and everyone. So don't hesitate reaching out to any of us, and we will be happy to help. Right? Okay, so you all know me already. I'm Dipali. I work with customers as a customer success manager with Cornerstone On Demand. I am working with Cornerstone since last more than 3 years now. Before this, I was working with another organization called IHT. I have been in this domain since last 8 years, and I have a total experience of around 15 years in the industry. This is a brief about me. I am quite passionate about customer success. I like talking about all the topics or modules related to CS. And I think I have learned everything while working only. Just like you, there was a day when I didn't know anything about customer success. And I was the one who was attending sessions. I was the one who was asking questions, reading articles. So I was amongst you only. And then while working, while going through my career journey, I learned a lot. I participated. I was available to volunteer for a lot of work, and all those opportunities gave me a lot of learning. I mean, whatever I'm sharing with you all, I have learned from the industry only, from the leaders, from the people who are directly working in this domain. So all this learning is very practical, and I hope that I am able to convey whatever I have learned or whatever I work through. In case you find there is anything which is difficult to understand, or there is anything which needs a little more clarification, please unmute yourself and speak out. This is just a informal discussion kind of a session. Please don't take it as a monotonous session where I will only be speaking. Although I'll try to keep it a little interactive, but even then I encourage you to speak out whenever you feel like, right? I'll be sharing my screen. Can you enable my share, Gloria? I think it says this is disabled.
Okay, I'll do that now. Let me see.
So by the time Gloria is checking on that, I'll be taking up two important topics today. Both of them are very important when it comes to customer success domain. One is onboarding best practices. So I will just come to the details of it. But onboarding is very, very crucial part of customer success journey. Then second is understanding our customer needs and expectations. I'm sure you all have went through a lot of sessions. You all know the importance of knowing your customer preferences, but we will be taking it up a little more in detail today, right? So let me start with my screen share. Let me know if you can see the screen. I have shared a PPT on onboarding best practices.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the confirmation. So, onboarding best practices will lead to build customer value from day one. So, we will know that what this means. What is customer value? Why do we need to build the customer value from the day one they come to us? I have just mentioned a small stats here that mastering onboarding is crucial for customer success and retention. And studies show that 63% of customers consider onboarding when deciding if they will purchase from you again or not. Okay, I think it applies to all of us as well. So whenever we are buying something from the market and we get very good instructions or installation details or a good help from a person who comes to our place and helps us in installing that particular product, so we will be inclined to buy again from that particular brand, right? So this presentation will explore proven strategies to create exceptional onboarding experiences that drive value from day one. This is the whole purpose of what I am sharing today. To start with, I'll start with a question to all of you. So, what one word comes to your mind when you hear onboarding? Can you please join Slido or just scan the scanner here and start typing your answer? I'll get a word cloud here. Let's see what you understand by onboarding. You can also unmute, and I mean, while typing, you can unmute and you can also share your thoughts. So I'll tell you from the first day I heard about onboarding, I did not have any clue that what this means. I did not know what what do you mean by onboarding. Let me know if you're not able to join or if you're not able to scan it.
Um, Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so onboarding is basically the means of okay, someone has read it. It's basically the means of introducing new clients to your products and walking them through every session or every feature of your product.
Yes, yes, that's true. When you say onboarding means telling about the features of your product to your customer, right? I'll just move ahead to the next slide. By the time you're typing, we can come back to that one. I also want to know that what do you think is the biggest challenge in customer onboarding? When we say that onboarding means telling about the features to your customer, about the product to your customer, I'll give you an example. Let me say I bought a new refrigerator. Okay, so a new refrigerator, let's say from any brand, like LG or Samsung. I don't know what brands are popular in your region, but I'm just talking about some brands which are popular in India. So if I get a refrigerator from Samsung and I get it home, but now I don't know the functionalities. I don't know how will I get ice cubes out of this refrigerator. I don't know how will I get cold water by. I mean, what is the process for getting this refrigerator connected to your water purifier? Let's say RO. Okay. Nowadays, this functionality is there in all the refrigerators. So it will be useless for me if I don't understand those things, the basic functionalities, right? I only know one thing, that in the refrigerator I can keep my fruits and vegetables and they will remain fresh. But I don't know the other features. I don't know that this can give me cold water by connecting to the purifier. I don't know that this can dispense ice cubes for me. And unless a person from this particular brand, let's say LG, calls me or visits me at home for installation, and unless he gives me a practical demo of what all can be done with this refrigerator, I, as a customer, may not be aware of all these features or functionalities, right? So that's what onboarding is in very very simple words for the newcomers or for the beginners. That's what onboarding means. Onboarding means to tell your customer that what your product is capable of doing, what your product can do for them. I mean, maybe my product has around 100 features, but as a customer, this customer will not use those 100 features. I will use only 12 out of these 100. So onboarding is to make sure that you are conveying the details of these 12 features to me. You should be aware that what I am looking for, what I am eager to know about the product or the service. Or this product may be a software. Product may be a hardware good. The product may be a eatable. Anything in the market we call as product, right? So onboarding strategies means the CSM or the person who is taking care of this customer will actually uh, inquire about the needs of the customer. They will first know that what this customer is looking for. They will understand that why did I go to the store to buy a refrigerator? What was the need? So when I go to the store to buy a refrigerator, I may have talked to the salesperson. I may have told them that my old refrigerator is not helping me keeping the things fresh, or it's not dispensing cold water for me. So they know that these are two requirements which I have while buying the refrigerator. Okay. So the person who will come for onboarding to me, or the person who will come for installation and telling the feature details, they will focus more on these 2 points which I inquired while buying the refrigerator. That's what the simple meaning of giving value is. That's what the simple meaning of onboarding is. To make sure that you are talking about the things which the customer wants to hear, to make sure that the customer gets for what they have bought your product, right? So that's a very basic observation, or basic, you can say, curiosity, which leads to these customer needs understanding. So that's what is onboarding. But when we hear about it, or when we talk about this, it seems very simple. It seems like I went there, I shared some of my necessities, and the other person told me that yes, we have this product which will fulfill all your needs. I bought it and I started using it, right? Not a big science. But in even then, many of the companies or many of the organizations fail to give a very good onboarding experience to their near customers. So we are just talking about that failure. What do you think is the biggest challenge in customer onboarding? Why do you think onboarding strategies fail? You can also unmute and speak, in case you're not able to join Slido, or in case you're not able to scan it. If you're able to, then I'll be happy if you can answer any of these. I mean, what do you suggest out of these four options?
I feel like some of the onboarding strategies fail because most customers feel like they are getting too much information at the same time. Like you're giving them the features. And I'm trying to explain this as plainly as I can, but you're telling them a lot of things in such a short period of time. So it's more like an information overload, something like that.
Yes, exactly. I fully agree. This is similar to an example which I gave, that if a product has 100 features and I need only 12, so the information should be given to me only about these 12 features, not about all the 100 features. If you will talk about all the 100 features, that will be a overload of information for me. I may not be very happy knowing that this product can do so much of things, right? Anyone else? Anyone else who wants to share what you think is the biggest challenge in customer onboarding? Okay, not an issue. Let's move to the next slide. So, for onboarding or for making our onboarding successful, it's important that we understand that what is the customer's aha moment. What makes them happy? What are they looking for from the product, right? So, for that, there are three things which I've mentioned here. One is value definition. Value definition is the core value which your product is giving to the customer. Every product or every software, or it may be a SaaS product, it may be any other product, they have some of the other unique features, right? So we need to understand those unique features, and we need to just target the core need of the customer. We need to modify the core value of the product in a way that it actually gives the value that the customer, that aha moment. The customer should feel that, oh wow, this is what I was looking for in the market, this is what I was actually dreaming of getting, right? So that's something which you give as a value definition. This is the first stage, when you're defining your product to the customer, when you're sharing what your product can do, when you're telling them that what the product capabilities are. At that moment, whatever you convey to the customer should lead to that aha moment. Again, for creating this aha moment, you need to know your customer first, right? Next is key actions. So identify the key actions which lead the customers to realize that value. Like I just gave an example of a refrigerator. Let's say I got a refrigerator, I know all the functionalities, I know whatever this fridge can do, and I just bring it and keep it in my room. Now I'm daily opening it, and I'm feeling that it's not keeping my fruits and vegetables fresh. I am looking that it's not giving me cold water, it's not giving me ice cubes, and I'm not able to understand what is the problem. So the problem is that this refrigerator needs the plug to be plugged in and to be switched on. That's the key action. Only this action will make sure that the product which I bought starts working, right? And I start realizing value. But if I'm missing on this key action, so nothing will happen. The product will be a wastage for me. I will not be able to make use of it. So that's how it works. Key actions are some things in your software. Let's say a customer buys a product from you. I'm just because I think we all are mostly belong to the SaaS industry. So I'm taking examples of some softwares. Let's say a customer buys a software from you, and there are some key actions, like they need to create their credentials, they need to make sure that they have a password which has some capital letters or some special characters in it, right? They need to make sure that they are giving a mobile number which will get a verification code, and this verification code needs to be entered, and only after all this authentication, they will be able to start they will be able to reach the home page of your product, of your SaaS product. Okay, once they reach the home page, it's important that they complete three or four formalities which we need them to complete. Like they have to mention what their role are they need to mention the full name of their organization, or maybe their scale on the HR profile, right? So all these things need to be mentioned before they can move ahead. Unless all this is communicated to them, unless the user knows that these are the things which are to be done from my end, they will never be able to realize the value, right? They will always think that this product is a waste, I'm not able to reach the home page, I'm not able to start using the product. They don't even know that the product will be opened up for them or will be launched for them after these key actions are taken from their end. So it's important that we identify the key actions and we explain these key actions to the customers so that the product usage does not fail for them. They should be able to realize the value from the first day. From the first day, they should know that these are the actions from my end. And once I complete them, I will be able to move forward. Right? Then next is a milestone example. I've just taken an example of something which I did in my previous organization. So we were given a target that uh, we should be able to share at least 2,000 messages in a week through Slack. Slack was a new product for us in that organization. They just bought Slack. And to make sure that the product usage is going on and we as customers understand the usage of Slack, they gave us a target of sharing 2,000 messages through Slack. It was not an individual target, it was a team target. Okay. So now my team manager, he kept a Teams call. We were around 12 people in his team, and he told us that 2,000 messages is our target, and if we don't achieve this milestone, then our access to Slack may be disabled. Right. So that was a condition, and we all put at all the efforts to share messages through Slack. In the process, why was this target given to us or that milestone given to us? Because in the process of doing that, we learned a lot about this new product Slack which we bought. We understood the functionalities. We knew what is the support ID. We knew how can we share pictures or images over there. We knew that how can a PDF be connected to this. We learned about connecting other connectors or other apps through Slack, right? So that I'm talking about the initial stages when Slack was very new in the market. So that kind of milestones need to be given to the product users so that they are putting their time and effort in the usage of the product. They are not just opening the page and working on something else, maybe their old previous systems before which they were using before your product. So that will never make your product successful. They have to be there present on the page of your product. They have to be using it very very consistently. Only then can they get the value out of your product, right? Then next slide talks about personalization, tailoring the onboarding experience. Now, I give you an example. I'll again and again come back to the simple example of refrigerator, where my requirements were two or three, which I mentioned down, but your requirement may be different. Your requirement may be to use the refrigerator for, let's say, freezing purposes. You maybe your family uses more frozen products. You will get a double door refrigerator for your usage. Maybe you have some electricity issues for which you are looking for a inverter based refrigerator, right? So depends on different people who are using the product. That is why personalization comes into picture. So personalization, what is personalization? Any of you? Do you understand what you mean by personalization? Please participate. I mean, if it'll be interactive, I will also be at ease. Okay, no problem.
Hello, everyone.
Personalization.
Excuse
Afternoon, Deepali. I love you. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, hi. Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to you that the slides are not changing. We're still on the first page of your slide. Is there anything going on at your end or maybe at hers? Because
Is
I'm
it
also
not changing
just
for
like
anyone?
the QR code you said we should use to respond to. It's
Oh,
not
it's
changing.
not changing.
Let me share it again. Thanks for bringing that to my notice. Okay. Which slide can you see now?
We can see the slide. The personalization is key slide.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was not aware that they're not even changing. Okay, so we were talking about personalization. Any of you who wants to contribute to what does this mean? Okay, I'll take it up, no issues. Please let me know if in case the next slide does not come up for you. Currently, I'm on the personalization slide only. So personalization is to make your product offering specific to the user who is in front of you, right? So if you're talking to me, you will talk about my needs, and you will showcase the product as a fulfilling thing for my needs. But if you're talking to some other person, the needs may be different. So your product image will change, your product language will change, and you will show the product as something which they are looking for according to their needs, right? So that's called as personalization, making it personal to the person who is using it, to the user who is using it. Okay. We all see many OTT networks nowadays. Let's take an example of Netflix, or maybe LinkedIn Learning, or maybe Facebook, any social media network. If I'm searching for a holiday in Europe, and I searched it on Google, and then I crossed it and I come back to my Facebook page, you will see all the Europe holidays advertisements start coming on my Facebook feed, the feed page, right? Similar will happen on Instagram. I will also start receiving feeds on Instagram related to my search. This is personalization. If you are searching for some product, let's say you're searching for um, a automobile, a car. Let's say you want to buy a car, and you're searching for a car on Google. Once you switch off your Google and you come back to any other social media platform, you will start receiving advertisements of car there, right? The car dealers will start uh, pasting their sharing their ads on your page. So I'm not seeing those car images. I am only seeing the Europe holidays, but you are seeing the car pages, right? That's the difference. Although both of us are using Facebook, both of us are using Instagram, or both of us are using the similar kind of platform, but because our personal needs were different, because our search was different, all this data flows through internet to all other platforms, and they get the personalization comes into picture in that way. So you guys start getting feeds related to your own personal interest. Okay. uh, Similarly, onboarding experience has to be personal. We need to understand that what this person is looking for, and the onboarding has to be done in the same manner. We talked about a product which had 100 features. If I need 5 of them, so my onboarding slides or my onboarding experience should only explain those features. If Gloria needs, let's say, 10 of them, other than my 5, so her onboarding experience will focus more on those 10 features. And if any of you needs another 2 of them, so your onboarding experience will talk about only those 2 features, right? So that's called a personal experience. And for personalizing the onboarding experience, it's not very easy. We have to follow some strategies. So first one is user segmentation. So user segmentation is, you need to segment your learners. Let's say your users. Let's say one segment can be women users. So if a woman is a user, then that will be one segment for them, and males will have a different segment for them. Okay. Uh, Similarly, it can be demographically divided, the segmentation, or it can be regionally divided. Let's say India is one region, South Africa is another region, America is another region. So this can be a regional personalization. So we know that Indian people will not spend more money on, let's say, I mean, any other thing which American people may spend on, right? So the products or the features which will be showcased on India region will be different, but for American people it will be different. For South Africa it will be different. That's called a regional personalization. So similarly, we have different kind of segmentations which can be created. It can be age wise, it can be religion wise segmentation, it can be area wise segmentation, it can be your job profile wise segmentation. Like for customer success people, the product features will be different. For the people of sales, the product features which they will use will be different, right? So that's a role based segmentation. So this is segmentation, and we need to make our onboarding experience very convenient to different segments of users. Okay. Then second is personalized flows. Again, the customize the onboarding flow to address specific needs and goals. This is all related. First is talking about creating segments of users, and second is talking about personalizing the flow according to these segments which you have created. Okay. Then third is data driven optimization. So once we have created an onboarding strategy, we have finalized that this will be a presentation which we will show you all to all the female users, or this will be the person who will be visiting them and who will be taking up the onboarding session and will explain the features to them. And once we do that, we realize that there are some changes which need to be made, maybe based on the questions asked by the users, or based on the experiences which the users shared, or based on the feedback which they give you. You have to optimize your onboarding experiences as per all the data which you have received. So this data can be in the form of feedbacks. This data can be in the form of data available with you, like adoption data, or usage data of the users, or how many licenses they purchased, how many have they finally used, how many are still idle. This kind of data, what is available with you, uh, will help you optimize your onboarding strategies. So if you see that they have bought 100 licenses, but only 15 people have started using it, 85 licenses are still unused. What will happen? This particular organization will not buy 100 licenses in the renewal stage if 85 are still not utilized, right? So you need to make sure that you are visiting the data. When you see that 85 are not used, you will reach out to these 85 people and you will push them for usage. You will use some different onboarding strategy to encourage them to come to the product page and use it, so that the licenses renewal happens very smoothly. If the organization sees that all 100 were used, next time they may purchase 150 or 200 licenses, even more, right? So that's what personalization means here. Now I move to the next slide. Are you able to see the slide?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
thanks.
am.
Thanks. So next slide is talking about streamlining the initial step and minimizing the friction. This is again, when we onboard, we just have to make sure that the first step which the user is supposed to take once they take their product, start using your product. So it has to be very simple, right? So simplifying the sign up and initial configuration process. If we see that our signing up, or when we first for the first time when we go to a product page, if we see that there are a lot of complicated things which they've asked for, let's say they are asking, I very recently joined a learning platform, and on that platform they were asking me about my salary slip and about my degree certificate. So these are some complicated requirements. But I need to go and search for my salary slip, scan it, share it with them. I will have to search for my degree, scan it, share it with them, and I may not be comfortable sharing that on social media or on any platform, right? So that's a complicated process of sign up. So we need to make sure that we are simplifying the sign up. It asks for only basic kind of information. It is asking only for the required information, and in one or two clicks, the number of clicks well should be very less. In one or two clicks I should be able to sign up. Most of the websites make use of only your username and password, that's it. Some may ask a security question, that's the third click, right? Next is step by step guidance. Now we need to make sure that as a customer success manager, we are providing all the step by step guidance to them. It may not be a personal guidance. It's not important that you talk to them or you visit them and tell them how to use the product. More important is you may share the step by step guidance in a way of a manual. You may create a document which with pictures and with dialog boxes which tells them, please click here and you will reach the next page, please click here. This kind of step by step guidance is very very helpful for the new users. Or you may prepare some kind of a document, help document, and just install this document on your product, so that whenever a person is stuck, they just click on the help button or on the manual and they will get the guidance there. Another way may be to add tooltips to the platform. So you may tell your product team that please add tooltips. Tooltips are when I hover up on some kind of, let's say I hover on step by step guidance. If when I hover my mouse here, it should give me a open up a pop up box which tells me that please click on this if you want to do this particular activity. So those are called tooltips when you're already on the platform and you're getting guidance by hovering your mouse here and there, right? Third is visual progress. So use the progress bars to visualize onboarding process and motivate completion. This is also very important whenever we go to a new platform. If visual progress means if I start using the platform, it will tell me that you are 10% into it. I will, as a user, I will know that 90% is still remaining. Uh, Through my next step, it will say that you have achieved 25%. Now only 75% is remaining. So that's called visual progress, to tell the learner or the user that you are doing very good, you are progressing in your onboarding, but it's still not complete. Please complete it till 100%. So our human mind plays in that way that we all want to achieve 100%. When we see that we have achieved 40%, we will put our effort and we will complete the other remaining 60% as well, right? So that's a very good way to complete the onboarding. Now, are you able to see the next slide? This is a poll. This slide has a poll which says, what do you believe in the most critical aspect of onboarding? Are you able to see this?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, thanks. Can you please answer it? Both options are available. You can answer it through scanning or you can just unmute yourself and answer it. What do you believe is the most critical aspect for onboarding? Whatever you understand till now about onboarding, what do you
Um,
think is very important?
Understanding customer needs, because
Very
that's like
nice.
the starting point of personalization, simplifying processes, and the communication.
Yes, exactly. Anyone else? So the most critical aspect is understanding customer needs. That's a correct answer, because personalization also depends on understanding customer needs. Simplification of process also depends on understanding the customer needs, and what we are going to communicate to the customer also depends on understanding their needs. Our communication will change according to the needs of the customer, right? So that's the correct answer for this. Then we have two kinds of onboarding. One is high touch onboarding and one is low touch onboarding. So some companies have defined structure on which customers will get high touch onboarding and which customers will get low touch onboarding. Some companies take money for that. If you want a high touch onboarding, you will have to pay for it. If you want a low touch onboarding, that's a part of our package. So some companies work like that. And sometimes companies don't define what is high touch and low touch. They just leave it on the CSM to decide that which customer needs a high touch onboarding and which customer needs a low touch onboarding, right? So what is high touch and low touch? High touch is a dedicated onboarding specialist, personalized calls and training sessions. High touch is when the CSM is dedicatedly supporting the customer. They are calling the customer again and again, understanding their pain points. They are even visiting the customer and providing some onboarding sessions. So I used to do that in my previous role. I used to visit the customer venue, go there, and on the launch day, on the day of the first on the first day of our product launch, I used to give them a session of around 2 hours in which I used to tell them on a big screen that this is where you need to go, this is how you will sign up, this is how we will start your learning, all that stuff, all the steps I used to explain to them. That's called high touch onboarding, right? Low touch onboarding is when we encourage more self service for the customers, when we are not available all the time, but we provide them resources. We provide them with user manuals, we provide them with FAQ documents in which they can search for their questions and answers. We have automated some emails, whenever the user first comes on the product page, they will get an email, automated email, that welcome to the page, we are happy to have you, these are the steps to start. Whenever they're stuck anywhere, we see that since last 3 days they are not moving ahead in their learning or in their usage. So maybe another automated email will go, it will tell them that we are missing you, you are not visiting us since last 3 days. So this is called low touch onboarding. Okay. And third is hybrid approach, in which we combine both, in which we decide on our own wisdom whether this customer needs a high touch onboarding or a low touch onboarding. right? Sometimes we visit them and sometimes we provide them with the self-service resources. That's hybrid approach. Anyone is trying to speak anything? I just heard some voice. Okay. We'll move to the next slide very quickly. This is proactive communication, anticipating the customer needs. So, proactive communication is also a very important part of customer onboarding, in which you send welcome emails to them. So, everyone likes to get a welcome, right? Whenever we visit every place, any place, we are very happy when someone welcomes us with our name, with a smile on their face, right? That's a physical kind of welcome. But in case of SaaS usage, it's a email which we normally send to the customers, which is a welcome email. This welcome email encourages them to come to the portal and to start using the portal, right? This welcome email shares all the helpful resources with them, how they can sign up. The initial steps are also shared in it. Then after a while, let's say after a week of launch of the product, we may start making check-in calls, in which we call the customers and we ask them if they are facing any issues, if they are able to use the product without any without any block. Also, we are just available to provide assistance in case they need us, right? Third is in-app messaging. So that's similar to tool tips, which we just now understood. So whenever you are using the app or using the product, you get some kind of pop-up messages that please click here if you want to move to the next page. Please click here if you want to complete your onboarding. So these are some things which are called as in-app messaging. Then this is measuring onboarding success. Very important to understand that how can we measure the success? How will we say that our onboarding was successful or not? First was with completion rate. So whenever the user comes to the platform and they are able to complete the onboarding process, the visualization bar shows that 100% it is done. That's a proper measure for us for measuring onboarding. Next is time to value. So time to value, you all must have heard time to revenue or return of investment, ROI term, right? So nowadays ROI is being replaced by ROV. ROV stands for return of value. So instead of return of revenue, we just focus on return of value. So if a customer sees that the product is giving me what I bought the product for, they will be encouraged to use the products. That's called time to value. Third is product adoption. If we see that they are using our key features and functionality, this means our onboarding was successful. If the next is if we see that the customer is satisfied, so CSAT is a customer satisfaction score, and NPS is again a score which is given by the customers to us, which is called as Net Promoter Score. These both are the feedback scores from the customer, and if they both are good, normally they are in the scale of 1 to 10. If a customer is giving us 10 or 9 or 8, it is considered to be very strong or very good. If a customer is giving less than 8, it's considered to be not very good, right? So there are different surveys which go and which measure our onboarding process. In the surveys, we normally ask, are you happy with the onboarding? Are you able to complete the onboarding without any problem? Do you suggest us to change the onboarding process? So these kind of questions are there through which customers give us the feedback. Next is churn rate. Churn rate is again, if we see that the customer onboarding was completed, but the customer cancels their subscription, this means our onboarding was not very successful if they stop using the product altogether, right? So these are some measures which help us to know if our onboarding was successful or not. Then this is the last slide about onboarding, which tells us that onboarding is not only done when the customer comes to your platform or your product or your service, not only for the first time, but it is a continuous process. We also talked about optimization of onboarding. It is because nowadays it's very difficult to retain a customer. For retaining a customer, for keeping the customer with us, it's important that we are changing our approach with time, with the customer needs, because needs also change, right? So it's important that we are considering onboarding as a continuous process and are putting all the efforts in making sure that even the customers who are there with us since last 2 years know about the new features which are coming, know about the maximum value they can get out of the product, know about what extra is available. Maybe they're using 12 features, but to give them information about some other features, let's say 4 more, because we want them to purchase more from us, right? So that's called as, that's why it's important that onboarding is a very continuous process and it never finishes. So that's about onboarding. I'll just take a small break from speaking here, and I'll just see if you have any thoughts on questions about onboarding, and then we can move to the next topic. Any questions from anyone?
Temitope, can you ask that your question, the one you dropped in the chat?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Moibal. Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi. Does anyone has anything to add or anything to ask before we move to the next topic?
Yes, I do have a question.
Please carry on.
Okay, just to be sure that I got the last part, the one you mentioned that customer onboarding is a continuous process, it's not one time. Does this mean that, excuse me, at the initial stage, the first point when the customers are initially onboarded, when we get to understand their needs, tell them about the products, the service, and all of that. So, do you mean that even after that initial stage, that we still need to bring the customers up to date? We still need to bring them up to date as well. Maybe there's an upgrade or a new feature, or it's just ongoing process, as in onboarding, the onboarding process on its own, that you need to check areas that needs to be adjusted so that churn rates can be reduced, so that customer satisfaction can be heightened. I just want to be sure if I got what you explained well.
Yes, yes. Thank you for the question. So you understood it very well. One reason of saying that it is a continuous process is that the customer does not churn. If let's say I'm using a feature today, but my product has, your product has evolved, and this feature may not be the similar which it was 6 months earlier. So I may feel stuck when I come to the page again, and I may feel a little confused or lost on the platform, seeing that it is the UX is different, or the platform has evolved, or because no product remains the same, everything is evolving, right? So that's when onboarding comes into picture. So once you reach out to them, you check about the pain points, you share new slides. Let's say you don't even reach out, you just share the new slides, that this is a change in the feature, and this is the new thing which has come on the platform, this is the new UX. So this learner will not feel lost. This user will have the confidence that yes, I can use it, right? And another important aspect is that even from organization's point of view, if I'm working with the organization today, I may not be working with the same organization next year. I may be shifting my role, right? And there may be new people who will come to this organization. So onboarding for these new people will be the same as the new user, right? So the cycle goes on always. Every organization keeps on having new employees every month. Let's say every month there is a new employee which is being hired, and if your product is this new employee is not able to use your product, the license usage will decrease for you. So that's important, that whenever you talk to HR or to your support person in the organization, you tell them that whenever you have new users, please let us know, and we will help keep a onboarding session for these users, so that we can tell them that this is the way to use the product. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question concerning the onboarding segmentation and all that you explained earlier. So I feel like why I work is a B2B, B2C, but I focus more on B2C aspects. So in order to handle the customers directly, I don't think from my own aspect I have to onboard them directly, like having to interact with them face to face every time with over 500 or 600 customers every time. So how do I optimize this onboarding
Yeah, thanks for the question.
whereby,
If,
because watch and every other places that they can interact with, but I still feel like if I'm to go by what you just said, I feel it will work more for the B2B aspect than the B2C aspect of it. So how do I optimize the B2C aspect of onboarding?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Even I have worked for B2C for 2 years in my career, and I know that dealing with the direct users is very overwhelming. We have a quite number of users whom you deal with. So what is the best way is you make automated mailers for them, or you make user guides for them. And sometimes when if I talk about myself, sometimes when I used to segment the customers according to, I was particularly managing some universities at that moment. So according to the region of the university, I used to just change the heading of the user manual. Let's say I used to name the state on the top of the manual. This will make sure that the user who will open the guide, they will think that it is meant for me, it is not meant for anyone else, right? Not making many significant changes, but some things can still be personalized. It can be done on the basis of age as well. If we are dealing with some users who are above 50 years of age, let's say, and they are coming to use the product, or some users who are of 20 years of age, so the onboarding manual or the emails which you're sending them, you can make 4 or 5 drafts according to these segments, and just use those drafts when you're dealing with these users. I mean, not dealing with them in personally, but even then making them realize that this is a personal message for you. We have many features in Microsoft as well. Like I used to use mail merge. So mail merge is a feature of Word, Microsoft Word. It makes sure that from the list of users, it's using the name of the user from this Excel file. So whenever you're sending an email, it will say dear Dipali. It will pick up my name. It will say in the next email, it will say dear Gloria. It will pick up her name, right? So you are not putting much effort, but you are learning how to make it personalized, even without personally getting connecting with them, automating them a lot. Similar kind of changes can be done to some words in your manuals or in your emails. If you are preparing a user manual, wherever you have mentioned the name of the state or university or maybe college or maybe organization, let's say you mention IBM as a name of the organization, and now you're dealing with a user who is not working with IBM but they're working with Samsung. So just making this automation in which you pick the domain name from the email ID of the user. So there are different tools which do this thing. They will pick the domain name and they will replace IBM with Samsung there. It will not take your effort, but it will still personalize the experience for them. I hope I could answer your question.
Yes, you did. The CRM does that, the personalizing their name. The CRM does that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we can move to the next part of presentation. Just let me know if you can see the screen again. Now we are going to talk about understanding customer needs and expectations. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. So here, how can we understand the customer needs and expectations? We understood that it is very important to know about the customer needs. Only then we can make them use our product, or only then we can do a good onboarding, right? So the best way is to leverage data and feedback to personalize the customer interactions. We already talked about it, touched about it, but I'll come to a little more detail of this topic. Can you see the next screen now? This is a screen which asks you, what does customer personalization mean to you?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So in the interest of time, we can unmute and we can talk about what does personalization mean to you. If one or two of you can answer, we just explained it during the last PPT.
Sorry, we can still see your screen. What I'm seeing here is conclusion on onboarding as a continuous process.
Okay, seems like again an issue. I'll share again. Yeah. Can you see now? What do you see now?
Yes.
Yes, why understanding customer needs matters.
Matter. Yeah, yeah. So this is the topic we are coming to. Why is it important to understand the customer needs? First is we all want to fulfill the customer expectations, right? We all want that the customers are getting what they are expecting from our product. So I've also shared a study or stats from Salesforce here, which says that 76% of customers expect companies to understand their needs. If my needs are not understood and I am not getting what I was expecting from the product, I will not go back to the product, right? Second is improved satisfaction. Again, a study from McKinsey says that personalized experiences increase customer satisfaction by 20%. So, why is it important that a customer is satisfied? Because the satisfied customer will be a happy customer. They will go back to buy your product, and it will result in renewals, right? So, it is very important that a customer is satisfied from your product. Third is valuable offers. So a study from Adobe says that customers are 2.1 more percent more likely to view personalized offers as important. So whenever we see that we are not wasting our time looking for something which we don't even need, but our product feeds or our onboarding talks about the things which the customer is actually needing or looking for, that is something which leads us to buy the product, right? So valuable offers is another important thing. So that is why it is important to understand the customer needs. Then how do you primarily gather the customer expectations? Again, a question to all of you. What do you see? What do you think is the best way to know what the customer needs? How can we know that what the expectations of the customer are?
Data collection.
Data collection. Yeah. So data is everywhere. I mean, data is available in the emails, data is available in the support tickets which they're raising. Data is available in our MIS softwares as a usage data or churn data. Data is available in their HR systems as their demographic data, right? So we have a lot of data, but we need to understand how to use this data, right? And there are many other ways, like one is data. One important factor is data. Second is we may visit customer profile on LinkedIn. They may be talking about some things on LinkedIn which will tell us what they're expecting. We may also read about some articles about market trends of the industry. Let's say my customer belongs to healthcare industry. So I may go and read some articles related to their industry, which will tell me that what are the expectations of the organizations of this industry, right? Next is directly asking for feedback. I may go out and ask the customer directly. I may send out a survey or a feedback form to know that if they, what are their expectations. Like the questions may be like, what do you suggest can be added to the product so that you like it more? So they will come up with their answers, right? So there are many different ways to collect customer expectations, and these expectations, and then they are pulled together and put in a container, and then they are churned with the CSM, and all the brainstorming happens, which helps us to know what the customer expectations are and what are the best ways to meet them, right? Yes, onboarding and kickoff meetings. So that's a very what do you say, very wide scope of getting all the customer expectations at one place. Whenever we are in a onboarding call with a customer or a kickoff call, they talk a lot about their questions. They talk a lot about some things which they are expecting or they want to see in the product. So it is important that we are making notes and we are taking these notes with us, and sharing it with our internal teams to tell them that this is the expectation of the customer from our product. Next is methods for data gathering customer data. One is surveys, we talked about it. Second is analytics, we already talked about it. Then social media, I just mentioned that, and feedback forms. These are the four ways in which we can gather the customer data. This is very important. Yeah.
There are two questions in the chat.
I can't see them. I can go back and see them.
Okay,
Or
or
if
do you want me to read them out?
Yeah, you can read them out.
Okay, the first one is, how do I know an intended customer's needs? How do I know an intended customer's needs? And the second one is, do we ask the customer directly, or do we just wait and gather data over time?
Yeah, sure. So how do we know what are the customer needs? When we talk to them, we come to know about their needs. Or the other way around, when the customer comes to us with their requirement, we know about their needs, right? But that will be a very limited knowledge. That will not They will not be sharing everything there. The second question, which says that do we ask directly, that is the only way to find out what the customer needs. You need to talk to them directly. So whenever you are interacting with a customer, let's say he's not even a customer, only your prospect, they are just considering your product or understanding your product. So you need to connect with them and ask them very direct questions like, what are your expectations from the product? What do you want to achieve? What is your goal? What is the target timeline for achieving this goal? Let's say they say that my goal is that my employees should be able to learn about artificial intelligence in next 6 months. So that's a very clear definition of what they're looking for, right? Then the next question can be to the customer can be that when you say that your employees need to learn AI, which employees are you talking about? Are you talking about all the 5,000 employees of your organization? Or you have specified around a cohort of employees, let's say 1,000 employees you've shortlisted, whom you want to give this training to. So these kind of direct questions, more questions you ask, more information you will get from the customer. And believe me, whenever you are interacting with a prospect or a customer, they are very happy to provide with all the details. They are very happy with the questions which you're asking, because these questions make them also think about their goal. And sometimes you will also hear, I remember one of my meetings with the prospect in which I asked them that what is the goal you're trying to achieve from this product? Why are you buying it? How can we measure whether your goal is achieved or not? And the answer which I got was that we don't know our goal. Sometimes the customer does not even know that why they are buying the product. They are buying the product because in their industry everyone else is buying it. Let's say some products of customer success. I'm just taking any random example. Let's say Gainsight. So some organizations are not at that scale where they can use Gainsight. But because everyone else is using Gainsight, they will buy Gainsight and they will not get the result which they're expecting from it, because their usage is not at that scale, or their user base is not that strong, right? So it is important to know that what the customer is expecting from your product. There may be, if there is a gap in this understanding and the customer is buying the product without clarity, they will churn. They will definitely churn. They will move to other product which will give them the results. So that is why it is very important, and it is not difficult to ask questions. You just have to be prepared with what to ask. And more questions should be open ended questions. They should be able to answer in some sentences, not only in yes or no, right? I hope I answer the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So these are methods of gathering customer data. Next, we were on turning data into actionable insights. So when we get data, we have a lot of data available, right? But how to make use of this data? This data has to be converted into some insights. So whenever I'm talking to someone about customer success, and I always use the statement that data is the best friend of customer success manager. You cannot be a successful CSM unless you are friends with data. Most of us struggle with understanding data. Most of us do not know what to do with data. But invest some time of yours in understanding tools related to data. Invest in some certifications. I'm not saying monetary investment, There are many free certifications also available in which you learn the basics of data analysis, like how to create dashboards, how to understand the data given in Excel sheets. I mean, what kind of insights to get with a lot of AI, generative AI tools, we are able to get insights out of data very easily, right? But the spirit should be there. You should be eager to learn that. Only then you be a very successful CSM. So we need to understand data so that we can create segments basis on this data. Segment customers based on demographics, behavior, and preferences. So these three things we will get from data only. We need to understand that in the data, which is the column which is telling us the preferences of a customer, which is the column which is telling us the behavior, whether they buy weekly or monthly or quarterly, what is their buying behavior. So we need to understand that, right? Second is pain point identification. So identify the pain points and areas for improvement. If we know how to read data, only then can we understand the pain points of the customers. Only then can we identify them and we can target to solve them, right? Third is predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is when we can predict the future usage based on data, right? Like we can proactively see that this particular customer was using 85 licenses in January, but by the end of March the usage of licenses has come down to 50. This means it's a prediction. We can predict that the customer is trying to switch to some other product because they have not utilized the full licenses with us, right? So that's what predictive analytics means. Next is customer journey maps. So journey maps is a very crucial aspect nowadays. We create a journey map for the customer. The customer success manager works with the customer and talks about some milestones, that this is a milestone, we will achieve this, then we will move to this my next milestone, that to the next milestone. This is a journey which we create for them. And this journey map can be created only when we have data insights available with us, right? So that's very important for creation of journey maps. Then personalizing customer interactions. Again, this is very important that we personalize the customer interactions. We tailor the content according to their individual preferences. We use personalized email marketing campaigns, which we just talked about to answer a question. Then we customize the website experiences. On website, you all must have noticed whenever you go to a platform, it gives your name. Welcome back, Deepali. Right? So that's a personalized experience for me. If I'm learning something on LinkedIn Learning, so when I go to the dashboard, it will show only the courses which I am learning. It will not show me the courses which Gloria is learning. Right? So that's called a customized website experience. Next is providing proactive customer support. So whenever we see that a customer is since last, let's say, 2 hours, if he's on the same page and not doing any activity, we may pop up a message saying that do you need any support? We see that you're not able to move ahead. So that's called proactive customer support, right? Then measuring the impact of personalization. This is how we measure whether we were able to understand their personalization needs or not. One is satisfaction or the net promoter score. Second is retention. If we are able to renew the customer, this means they were happy with our personalization. Third is conversion. So conversion is when we are talking to a customer and they finally purchase our product. That is called a conversion. From a prospect, they become our user. So that's called personalization. Sorry, conversion. Then lifetime value. Increased customer lifetime value is when the customer is able to find value throughout the life of the product usage. Let's say they started using in January. In March we touch base with them and they are very happy with the product and they are able to achieve the first milestone. Then in September, when we get in touch with them, they tell us that we have not used the product since March. So that's a very bad lifetime value for them. They will not renew it then in that case, right? So we through data we can see even before September that they're not using it very proactively, and we need to reach out to them in the mid of it. Then next is, how often should you collect customer feedback to ensure a personalized experience? What are your answers to this? What do you think is the should be the frequency of collecting feedback? Because feedback is a very good way to deliver personalized experiences to the customers.
Continuously, real-time insights.
I could not understand. Can you repeat that?
Okay, I said the answer is continuously real-time insights.
Yes, right. Continuously, real time insights. Exactly. So, real time insights is something which we get from the data which we have available with us. But we cannot get continuous feedback from customers by sending out surveys or asking for feedback through forms, right? That can be done on a frequency which you decide with them. In your meetings, initial meetings with the customers, ask them that should we send you the feedback surveys or feedback forms monthly or quarterly, because we want to know what your feedback is about our product or about our services, right? That's a good way to not even irritate them with all your emails, and not making sure that you are collecting the feedback, right? Next is, we have come to the last slide of this as well. The future of customer interaction. So personalization is no longer optional; it is an expectation. Each one of us and our customers expect the personalization in our approach. So this is not something which is an option for us. We have to make every interaction with them personal. uh, so whenever we are calling service centers, or whenever we are calling some platform call centers, they call us with our name. They recognize us using our email ID, or sometimes our phone number, or sometimes they don't even ask us anything, but whenever I call, they will just reply back with my name. So that's called personalization. They have all those tools available, right? Data and feedback are essential for understanding the customer needs, and by leveraging the insights out of this data study, we can create meaningful and valuable experiences for the customers. That's the only way. That's the only way, and that is why it's very important to read data, to learn how to read data, right? Focus on building long-term relationships through personalized interactions. This again is possible only if the interactions are personalized. If you're just sending a email saying that, dear user, this is the information, so that's not personal. They may not even move ahead after reading their user. They will understand that this is a mass email which has come to me. They will ignore it. But if you say, dear Dipali, hope you're doing good, and then I will be a little attached to read the email, encouraged to read the email, right? So that's about personalization. We can come back to your questions or discussion now.
Thank you so much for this session. It was insightful. Thank you for taking out your time to spend your day with us today. Do we have questions? We have one question, Ella. Let me read it out. The person was asking, so when you say sentiment analysis, or I think it's segmentation, right? Or is it sentiment? What do you mean, please?
So we talked about segmentation. Are you asking about segmentation?
I think so.
Okay. So segmentation is to make sure that you are dividing your users into different categories. Let me give you a very simple example. If I am holding a birthday party at my place, let's say for my kid, and I'm inviting 40 kids there, they will be of different age, and I'm buying return gifts for them. Okay. So I need to make sure that I'm buying pink color gifts for the girls who are lower than age of 10. They will love that. I am buying blue color gifts for the boys who are of age 10. I am, let's say, buying a cricket bat for boys who are in teenage, but girls of teenage will not like them, right? So maybe I'm buying a badminton or a band for the girls of teenage. So segmentation means this only, to segment your users according to their interests, to create different categories of users, and then to target them on the basis of their category. That's what segmentation is. I hope I'm able to make it simple and understandable. Does this answer your question?
Yes, I think it does. It answered the question. Thank you so much. Do we have more questions? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? You can ask your questions now before we continue. Are we clear on onboarding and what we just talked about?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. Any other person? Any other person? Hi, Blessing. We can barely hear you. Do you want to use the chat? Can anyone hear her, please?
Probably just
No, I can't.
Let's me see, can hear you. Can you use the chat while we wait for you to type? Okay, let's just wait for like a minute or two for her to write her question, then we move on from there. Let's just hold on a minute for her to respond to the question, then we continue. All right, so let me hear your feedback. What is one takeaway for you? Since we all say we understand what was taught today, I need everybody to write in the chat your one takeaway from this session today. Just one takeaway, or should we make it like 2 or 3? Let's start with 1. Hi, Otto John. I want to hear your feedback from all 1 or 2 people can actually unmute and let us know what stood out for them in the class today. Or you can also use the chat.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Okay, my takeaway from the class today, she did justice to the topic, but it's that type of onboarding, the type of onboarding like the high-tech onboarding versus low-touch onboarding. I think that is my takeaway from the lessons today, because I'm not really aware of those ones before, because I don't really know that it is defined like that. But now I think it's better. I understand it better. To help you.
Fantastic, fantastic. She talked about 3 types of onboarding, the hybrid as well. Nemesi, do you want to unmute and say what you learned? I can see you dropped a statement in the chat with that fine baby boy. Thank you so much, John, for letting us know what you learned today. So insightful.
I learned. Hello, can you hear me?
You can hear.
Yes.
Yes, I learned that onboarding starts immediately the client enters your company, and it doesn't stop until maybe the person churns or the person gets exactly, even after they get the value from your product, onboarding still doesn't stop. Is like a continual process.
So that's great. That's great. It's a continuous process. It doesn't stop. Okay, we have so many input from the chat actually.
I think we got a question also. It was about sentiment analysis. So I'll just like to answer this. Sentiment analysis for personalization means that we are analyzing the emotions and opinions which are expressed in the feedback which the customers share with us. Like, let's say they have shared a bad review with us. So we need to reach out to them and understand that why have they shared a bad review? What was their emotion? Maybe that they had to wait for 3 minutes and they were not happy that I'm waiting for 3 minutes. That's a review, right? uh, Another sentiment analysis example can be social media comments. Let's say my organization posted something on LinkedIn that we are organizing this event or we have launched this feature in the month of February, and the customer replies or comments on that post on LinkedIn saying that this feature is useless or this feature is fabulous, whatever. So that's an emotion which he or she has expressed, or an opinion which they have about that feature or about our product. So that's again another data which needs to be analyzed, which needs to be understood from sentiment analysis point of view. That's what we mean when we say sentiment analysis. So we need to tailor our products, services, and experiences. If a person is saying that I'm not happy because I have to wait for the services team to reply to me for 3 minutes over the call, so that's a feedback for us, and we need to make sure that the reply time from our support team reduces to 1 minute from 3 minutes, or to few seconds from 3 minutes, right? So that's experience which individual customer shares with us, and we have to read the opinion, the sentiment which they are sharing in this experience, the emotion which they are sharing with us, and then we have to tailor our reply according to that. That's what I meant. I hope I am able to answer. Yeah, we can read the other comments. I think onboarding continues when okay. Feature personalization. Very true. Others are just the learnings which they've shared, I think.
I think so, yes. So we don't have any other questions. So thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thank
hopefully we
you.
get to have you another time.
Yeah, sure, Gloria. Happy to be there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Okay,
so
bye.
much.
Have
Bye.
an amazing evening.
Yeah, all of you as well.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the class today. I'm so happy that you learned one or two things. Our next class is going to be on the 12th. Let me see. 7 p.m. or is it 7:30? Let me just confirm that before we go. And if there's anything I promised you and I haven't done, please let me know, because I have a lot on my head right now, but then that shouldn't be an excuse. So okay. Yeah, our next class is on the 12th, 7 p.m. So see, we're going to talk about customer retention techniques, proven strategies for increasing customer loyalty and lifetime value. So don't forget to bring your notes, and hopefully we're going to have an amazing time. You people have been asking about this. Modesta, how are you doing? You've been asking about recording. If you're in a class, there's no need for recording again. Do you get? All right. And but we're still talking about if anything changes, we'll let you know for the recording, because it was really a value-packed session. So I understand why you're asking. So yeah, for the slide, I'll ask her as well to share if possible. Okay. And Moibat will wait, sorry if I don't pronounce that name right. Moibat. Okay, yes. They are suing for email marketing now. Okay, no, I don't think they are suing for email marketing. So if I sign up on your platform, I want the email messages I'm receiving should be solely from you. There's no need for a third party, right? So if you're selling my product, my email and information, that's what companies do, right? Most of them sell without having proper contracts or agreements. So that is why that is happening. So if you want to cash out now, go and I think Domino, I think they are owing me. I need to sue them myself because they've been sending me unsolicited messages as well. So yeah, so it's very dicey in this day and age. Customers know their right. It's not like before now that anything goes. Right now, you have to be smart, or you have to outsmart your customers, else you are going to be in big trouble. They can sue you or just push you to a corner these days. So you have to go over your whatever information you are sharing with your customers or they are sharing with you. You need to pull like either an NDA or some sort of contract that this is what is going to be used for. And if you know this class, that is why we also have like the, at the beginning will ask you that, oh, this class is going to be recorded for something purposes. So not tomorrow now I come and say, oh, I didn't give them authority or the right to do this with my information or that. So it's very dicey that we learn how to do that, especially for us in customer success. Data is king, yes, but then you need to learn how to use data. And we flog that already in this class. So yeah, see you on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Yes. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have any question, drop it in the chat or on the platform. If there's anything, we'll let you know again. All right. Bye-bye. Hi, are they doing? Did I hear your voice today? Well, I'm coming to take that baby from you. The baby is so fine. Hi, Blessing. Sorry about your network. Oh, yeah, I think I heard you spoke at some point. All right. Thank you for joining us, John. Hi, Rita.